Los Angeles Lakers are a team defined by legacy, by championship banners, by legends who shaped the game, and by expectations that never seem to fade. But last season reminded everyone that history alone does not win playoff series. The Lakers entered the postseason with momentum, a high seed, and a roster that looked on paper like it could challenge anyone in the league. And yet, when the games mattered most, they fell short. Not in a heartbreaking 7-game series, not even in a 6-game battle, but in just 5. A young and fearless Minnesota Timberwolves squad exposed every weakness, outpaced them, and sent Los Angeles packing much earlier than fans had hoped. It was a shocking end considering the Lakers had climbed to the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. Expectations were sky high, and why wouldn't they be? With LeBron James still producing at an incredible level despite turning 40, and Luka Dončić, a generational star entering his prime, the pairing looked unstoppable. Their names together alone sparked excitement across the league. But the truth is the duo was still unfinished. They had only shared the court in a little over 20 games. Their record of 15 wins and 8 losses together wasn't bad by any means, but the rhythm, the trust, the natural flow that comes from time just wasn't there. Statistically, they looked strong. The Lakers averaged more than 116 points per game, with LeBron and Luka while holding opponents just above 114. But basketball isn't just about numbers. When the lights get brightest, chemistry matters more than ever. And in that series against Minnesota, the lack of cohesion was clear. The Lakers' stars weren't fully synced, and that cost them dearly. That was last year. This year, the energy feels different. For the first time, Luka and LeBron will get what they didn't have before. A full offseason, a complete training camp, and months to truly build something together. Inside the locker room, there's a quiet confidence that this time around the partnership will evolve into something dangerous. Assistant coach Greg St. John put it plainly when asked about the duo's progress. Having Luka in training camp from day one changes everything, he explained. It's about learning each other's tendencies, building trust, and creating a system that maximizes what both stars bring to the table. Think about where they are in their careers. Luka Dončić is only 26, already established as one of the best in the league, capable of controlling games with his scoring, passing, and creativity. He's entering his prime, the years when players tend to be at their absolute peak. Standing next to him is LeBron James, a player whose resume speaks for itself, a 4-time champion, and a legend still performing at a level that defies age. At 40, he remains one of the most impactful players in basketball. Together, they represent 2 different eras, yet both have the same mission, bringing another title to Los Angeles. The Lakers understand that raw numbers and regular season wins are not what make a franchise like theirs great. Championships are the standard. Playoff dominance is the goal, and that's why this season is so crucial. On paper, LeBron and Luka form one of the most complete duos in the game. Their combination of size, skill, basketball IQ, and versatility is unmatched by most teams, but the challenge is to make it work when the stakes are highest. Imagine the possibilities once they click. Luka drawing double teams and creating open looks for LeBron. LeBron orchestrating the floor and Luka punishing. Defenses with deep shooting. 2 of the smartest offensive players in the league finally working in perfect harmony. If that becomes reality, it could be devastating for every other team. The Lakers know time isn't on their side with LeBron. This could be one of his last real opportunities to add another ring. For Luka, the window is just opening, and he has the chance to carry the franchise for the next decade. The balance between present urgency and future promise makes this season uniquely important. But the Lakers' future doesn't rest solely on their 2 superstars. Another key piece of the puzzle is Rui Hachimura. His contract situation has been one of the biggest questions hanging over the team. Rui still has 2 years left on his current deal, but the question is whether the Lakers will extend him before the season begins. NBA insider Jovan Buha suggested that fans shouldn't expect an extension to be finalized anytime soon. The Lakers are taking a patient approach, choosing to evaluate Rui's role this season before making long-term decisions. It makes sense. Rui had a strong year, starting 57 of the 59 games he played, averaging 13.1 points per game on over 50% shooting, along with 5 rebounds. At 27, he's entering his prime, and his ability to defend, rebound, and stretch the floor makes him valuable. But the Lakers need to see consistency. Can he lock down defensively? Can he stay healthy? If he continues to grow, especially on the defensive side, then he could earn himself a long-term extension. If not, the front office may choose to keep their salary books flexible. The Lakers already made some depth moves, bringing in Jake LaRavia to help strengthen the forward rotation. That gives them options if Rui doesn't meet expectations. It also gives the organization leverage in negotiations. Rui is good enough to be a starter, but the Lakers want to be certain before committing years and dollars. In the Western Conference, where every move matters, financial flexibility is as valuable as roster depth. Rui's season could very well determine whether he becomes a long-term piece or a trade chip. Beyond Rui, there are whispers of something even bigger. While LeBron is still producing at an elite level, the reality is no player can outrun time forever. The Lakers are very aware of this and are already considering how to build a team that fits Luka's timeline. That means finding another superstar who can pair with him for the long haul, and that's where speculation begins to swirl. Trade. Chatter has suggested that if the right opportunity comes, the Lakers would not hesitate to make a bold move. One hypothetical scenario recently floated by Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus turned heads around the league. In a blockbuster 4-team trade concept, the Lakers would part ways with LeBron James and Bronny James to bring in none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. The deal included multiple teams and complicated salary maneuvers, but the headline was simple: LeBron out, Giannis in. In this proposal, the Lakers would send LeBron to Dallas, Bronny as part of the package, and picks across several years. In return, they would acquire Giannis, one of the most dominant two-way players in the world, along with some depth pieces to support the roster. The move would align perfectly with Luka's prime, giving Los Angeles 2 generational talents to lead the franchise into the future. On paper, it looks like a dream. The idea of Luka and Giannis side by side, attacking defenses, punishing opponents in transition, and locking down on the other end of the court is almost unfair. But reality is much harsher. Giannis has not asked out of Milwaukee, and the Bucks have no reason to move him unless forced. The return proposed in the scenario would also likely fall short of what Milwaukee would demand for a player of his caliber. Other teams could easily outbid that package. Still, just the idea of this kind of deal illustrates how aggressive the Lakers are willing to be. They know that to remain at the top, they cannot simply rely on history or wait for things to play out. They must always think 2 steps ahead. Whether it's building around Luka and LeBron in the present, managing Rui's future carefully, or exploring superstar trades for the long run, the Lakers are positioning themselves for both immediate contention and long-term success. This is the challenge facing Los Angeles, balancing today's championship hopes with tomorrow's dynasty dreams. If LeBron and Luka find the chemistry that eluded them last year, the Lakers can absolutely make a deep run. If Rui proves himself, the roster will have the stability it needs. And if the front office finds the right moment to strike for another superstar, the franchise could secure another decade of dominance. So the season ahead is filled with questions, but also with opportunity. Can LeBron at 40 still summon enough greatness to push for another ring? Will Luka fully embrace the role of franchise cornerstone and carry the Lakers into their next era? Can Rui show that he's more than just a role player and claim a long-term spot? And will the front office take a daring leap to pair Luka with another megastar? The only certainty is that the Lakers will not settle. They never have, and they never will. This is a team that has always chased greatness, always demanded the highest standards, and always believed that the next banner belongs in Los Angeles. With LeBron and Luka, the potential is sky-high. With Rui, the possibilities remain open. And with Giannis-type dreams in the background, the imagination runs wild. This season, Lakers fans will find out if the partnership between the King and the Magician can truly work, if the supporting cast can rise to the occasion, and if the front office is ready to make the boldest of moves. The answers will come soon, and one way or another, the NBA landscape may never be the same again.